Enrico, the most important question that you should ask any Italian is whether you should have pineapple on a pizza or not. Clear yes or no? No? Yep, there's the answer. No, he didn't even hesitate. The unfair advantage. And here we are. Hello, hello. The Baker's Dozen. The Baker's Dozen. We are here. Episode 13 of the Unfair Advantage, the show where we share tiny little tidbits to give you and your business an unfair advantage. Welcome back, Kelvin Jonck.
Thank you, Don. It's always good to record another episode. You have started a bit of a tradition. Tell me, what's your silly little number, statistic, or factoid that you have for this episode?
So listen, I mean, I almost decided to skip episode 13 entirely and go straight from 12 to 14 because, you know, triskaidekaphobia is a real thing. So that's why hotels don't have 13th floors and airplanes 13th rows. But Apollo 13 wasn't too cuck, so we thought that if that was a success, our episode 13 would be a success as well. And we are very, very lucky to have the spectacularly awesome Enrico Ferrigolli, the executive of online at Pick and Pay, with us today. Enrico, welcome to the Unfair Advantage.
Thanks for having me today.
Amazing. Enrico, so you guys were telling me, and Don mentioned earlier, that he squatted at your Airbnb, I think beginning of the year, just before the Green Day concert. And then he heard your whole background, you know, why you moved to South Africa, why you started Bottles, and just decided, you know, I think your name was first when we started putting down a list of people we wanted on the show. He said, we have to get Enrico on to hear the story. No, come on. But I haven't heard the story. So, and you know, some of the audience haven't either. So I'd love to hear your story. Why did you come to SA? Why did you start Bottles?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me today. I've been in South Africa for 13 years. I'm Italian. I know you would never tell, but that's where I come from. I initially worked for a company called Unilever in Italy, and after a couple of years, they offered me a few options to go somewhere else. And just South Africa sounded the coolest for me. Sounded like a place where I would be part of a big socio-economical shift, where I would see something different, and and I think it really delivered. I initially came for a 2 years assignment, and with my girlfriend of the time, and we never left. We fell in love with the country. We fell in love with the people. We got to know some really, really, really close friends over the years. We started businesses. We had 2 kids, and South Africa is our home, and we're very happy to be a part of this society. And then a couple of years in, I met, or actually just as soon as I arrived, I met one of my best friend and my business partner, Vince. And after a couple of years, and this was really when Uber started launching in South Africa, that we're like, ooh, apps, they look cool. We should do something about it, right? And incidentally, we were at a Braai, and we ran out of drinks. And this is old days Durban. In Durban, in the old days, you could not order on a Sunday, and on a Saturday you could not. You could not go to the shop on a Sunday. It was closed, and on a Saturday it would close very early. And we were like, why can't you order it online? And we started looking around, and you could find a couple of websites, but you could order in 2 or 3 days. And we were like, who needs a case of beer in 3 days? I don't know. I need it now, right? And we decided that we were gonna do an app. And initially it was an on-demand delivery app for wine, and we started doing a bit of googling around, and then we said, why just wine? It could be anything that you can find in a bottle store. And they started Bottles. So we started in 2015. I resigned first, and Vince followed a few months later. A couple of years later, started partnering with Pick and Pay, and sold to Pick and Pay in 2020, and that became Pick and Pay ASAP, as you know it today. And yeah, I've been at Pick and Pay for the last 5 years, and really, really exciting
So cool,
journey.
man.
I love that. I love it. Just finding problems and solving them. It's what every braai is, right? Always solving the world's problem around a lamb chop. Um, Enrico, I love what you said to Duncan in the Tech Central interview, where you said we had a communion of intent with Pick and Pay when COVID hit. Can you just, because I know you had your distribution model using Uber originally to send the bottles to people who were ordering was just phenomenal. But how did that whole partnership come about?
Yeah. So when we started bottles, we went literally bottle store by bottle store, right? And people thought we were like bootleggers, right? We were like illegally trying to do something illegal. But little by little, we started getting the first and the second and the third bottle store, but it was very, very time consuming and intense. You had to sign up one bottle store at a time. So we really wanted a retail partner. And our one of our first investors, Solly Kramer, one of the most well-known and respected entrepreneur in the industry, got us in touch with Pick and Pay. And there was a communion of just culture and belief system that got us to say this is the kind of company we wanna partner with. We started partnering in 2017. We integrated the technology backend, so we were able to know exactly how much product and what's the price, which I think was really important. And then in 2020, when COVID hit, Pick and Pay didn't have an on-demand delivery app. Our friend in Brackenfell just launched an app. So we like, you guys don't have an app, we can't sell liquor, why don't we do something together, right? We also had we had on our side about 45 employees, and we were a little bit worried about the short-term quit with alcohol banned, and it just felt right at the time. And I think this is one of the coolest thing that we did with these 45 people in our team. Regardless of what they were doing, for those 2 days, all they were doing was downloading pictures of avocados and apples and uploading them on the Apple bottles backend, and just like saving a new product as manually as I'm explaining it now.
Amazing. I love that. It's intent, it's culture, it's belief system. There's so much more to merging businesses and merging teams. It's a marriage, right? So you need to be happy with that. I love that. Enrico, I must be honest though, because I mean, it sounds like you love hard work, because you've also just launched a new restaurant called Le Pickle in Greenpoint. So it seems like you really love to delve into the toughest markets in the world. And really make magic. I mean, what's with that?
I love creating new things. Look, Le Pickle is just a way to channel I think our creativity. For me, is food something that I always enjoyed, and as every Italian living abroad, at some point you think about opening a restaurant, right? It's just in our DNA. And for Vince, who is one of the best marketers I know, it's more the creation of a brand and a CI and a logo and colors. And I mean, if you walk into the store, I think you see that. I think you taste incredible products, and you also see a brand and colors and a look and feel in the store that is really unique. So for me, it's I guess that the thing is this: they talk about this bug of entrepreneurship, right? Once you tried it once, you realize how cool it is to create something that didn't exist before. That's really what I enjoy the most. Most of my time is spent with Pick and Pay, because this is a big mission for me. And for many years, I've been looking for a brand and an industry to like can really make a difference. And I think retail is that, right? Retail is there, in any, after or during a pandemic, is there for customers 7 days a week, 20 hours a day. But yeah, it's a nice creative outlet for me to just build new things.
Yeah. There's I keep noticing how, especially kind of digital online entrepreneurs tend to go towards the physical creation of something for their next venture. They always want to, you're creating food in restaurants. I think, Yaron Nasabi went and did this vegan chain of food as well. Don Packett starts a farm. Because I feel like maybe the people in this industry, they just want to create something tangible as well that they can look at and say, look at what I've made, eat my food. So Enrico, what was, maybe speaking of other entrepreneurs, so if you had to give some advice to other entrepreneurs in this space, they're standing around a braai, they think of creating their next big kind of idea, maybe jumping ahead to that communion with Pick and Pay, that coming together with Pick and Pay. How did that feel, and what made it feel right to say, okay, I'm going to let, share the ownership of this baby that I've built, and I want to now grow it together with somebody else? Because that's that must be a huge emotional period for you.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Look, I think it was, there's a few factors at play, right? So the first one is, I think the reality is that e-commerce business to consumer plays require a substantial investment, right? But like hundreds of millions of rand, right? So my perception is that, in the absence of, the kind of large VC backbone that you would have in the US, I think we had gotten it to where it could get to, right? And I think it's just by seeing our competitors starting to launch, it felt like you either join forces or you're gonna be left behind, right? And then we get left behind. Pick and Pay gets left behind. What's I don't do this for anything else other than have fun and build something meaningful. And it felt the right time to just build the next chapter within the context of something bigger. I also, in the 2 or 3 years that we had partnered with Pick and Pay, I met incredible people that I work with today, that are really senior experienced retail professionals like I'll never be, and that have taught me a lot. And you've got to take those opportunities in life to work with people that you think are better than you and can make you better. And that's how I felt at that time. And I think that if you walk into the Pick and Pay online team today, you can't tell who is from Bottles and who was from Pick and Pay. We one team. We are a mix of younger and more experienced talents. It's phenomenal, and I would have never done it any other way.
Awesome. Don, any other questions?
I mean, outside of Enrico, the most important question that you should ask any Italian is whether you should have pineapple on a pizza or not. Clear yes or no? No? Yep, there's the answer. No, he didn't even hesitate. There you have it, folks. No pineapple on pizza.
That's the soundbite right there. So
there's so many other things you can put on a pizza. Why would you want to do pineapple, right? You can put mortadella and burrata. Stick to those things. There's many.
I think I wrote the key things, and me thinking at it as an entrepreneur myself, I think is the love for creating new things needs to be forefront of that. Having fun needs to be the forefront of having that, and everything else is secondary, because it'll come if you're having fun, right? I think that's the key takeaway for me out of this. So Enrico, thank you so much. We are coming up to our 15 minutes. We really appreciate you sharing your time with us. It's really exciting. I'd love to spend more time chatting to you like you got to speak with Duncan, but we'll set up a whole other platform for that.
We'll meet at Le Pickle.
How
about
Le
Pickle?
Yes, look at that. Yeah. Free burgers for you guys.
There we go. Thanks, Enrico.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye.
The unfair advantage.